Your ability to stay calm in the run-up to and on the day of your UCAT will have a massive bearing on your ability to score well. So in this video, I'm going to show you what to do in the weeks, days, hours, even minutes before your exam, and my number one superpower that is going to hold you in the best stead to do well on the day of your UCAT and maximize the chances of you getting a really high score. The first important thing to mention that you will have heard me talk about with how to allocate your time for the UCAT in this video is to not overdo it. Remember that the UCAT is a mental sprint. It's 2 hours of bombardment, fast pace, high problem solving that you don't want to overdo. If you try and do a 5-hour practice session, the same way that if you do 5 hours of sprinting, your speed will reduce, and that will mean that you get a lower score in the practice running up to the UCAT. That's only going to make you more stressed, get more worried about it, and then that's when people spiral into a series of bad scores and then find the whole thing very stressful. Do yourself the favor of not falling into this trap. Do short bursts, take long breaks, and then come back refreshed, and you'll see your scores improve. If you want to know exactly how I break that down hour by hour, watch that video that I just recommended by clicking the information button here, and that will show you exactly what you should be doing and how to allocate your time. The next two techniques I'm going to show you are going to benefit you massively in ways that you can't even measure, but I've actually learned them from my jiu-jitsu practice, where I read this book by a guy called Rickson Gracie, who was a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter, one of the best fighters in the history of the world, and he talks about how this breathing technique just massively helped him stay calm in most stressful situations and helped him stay hyper alert, which is exactly what you need to do during the UCAT. So his number one secret to staying calm under pressure was the use of pranayama breathing. Now, I've recommended a video here that you can check out to get you started, but this is important to note that this is one of those things that you really find hard to measure. It's so impactful, and plenty of studies now have showed that meditation has way better effects than even tablets in reducing anxiety. So it is one of those things that is sustainable, really easy and low effort to maintain, but will keep you calm in ways that you won't even measure. Meditation is one of those superpowers that you might not notice anything until you get put in a situation that's super stressful, where you would normally get freaked out by, and suddenly you realize that you're very calm and you don't quite know why. That is when you know meditation has started to work. And this is by far the most effective breathing technique that you can do in the run up to, because it's going to maintain your calm during the weeks before, but even minutes before, you can go away, find somewhere quiet to do this, and it's just going to center you, slow your breathing down so that you can just be super calm and alert for the big day. Another meditation that I'm going to show you is one that studies have proven to increase retention when studying by up to 50%. So that means in a study session, you're going to remember another half more on top of what you did if you do 10 minutes of this meditation immediately after study. This meditation is called Yoga Nidra and is something that I discovered from listening to the Andrew Huberman podcast. If you don't listen to that already, it is absolutely fantastic for all life hacks and just things to optimize yourself and your body and mind. So check that out. I'll give you a link to a video on Yoga Nidra here where you can find out a little bit more about how to do that meditation. But as I say, immediately after studying will increase your retention, your knowledge. Therefore, when you're doing techniques for the UCAT that you're trying to remember and learn to do at pace, this is the thing that's going to help you speed up. And before I talk about the number one superpower that I promised before, I want to just reiterate the importance of self-care. When we get stressed, one of the very first things that we do is throw self-care out the window. We start eating rubbish, we start sleeping terribly, we don't exercise, and these are all the things that are just going to keep us in a really nice rhythm, because if you exercise, you tire yourself out, so you sleep well. If you sleep well, then you don't get ridiculous hunger spikes, so you don't eat junk, and the whole thing just stays in harmony. But I am guilty of having done this myself when I started medical school and I was really stressed, was eating crap, drinking loads of caffeine. When you're in that state of mind, you don't have the same awareness, you don't have that mental acuity that you need for being aware for the UCAT. And these are the things that are going to slow you down, make you make stupid mistakes, and just generally perform lower than your best ability. So don't fall into that trap. No matter how stressed you are, exercise will be the fastest way to get you out of stress. So even if it's a 20-minute jog or whatever it is that you do to just quickly work out that anxiety and stress, just make sure that you do it and prioritize at least 20 minutes a day of exercise, good sleep, and eating well. Because it might not come as a surprise that the superpower that I'm talking about is that of sleep. People underestimate just how important it is. It's one of those things that when I talk to patients about it, they kind of go, yeah, whatever, I understand. But let me tell you and give you some studies that are going to show you just how important sleep is and how much of an impact it can make. There was a sociological study done of high-powered executives and CEOs to see how charismatic they thought they were and how impactful people were as a leader. Now what they did is they put them to speak in front of loads of different groups and just tested for what the differences were between the ones that people believed in and weren't so fond of and didn't believe in as well, or who was as charismatic. And really the only question they asked was, after each person talked, was how charismatic you believe this person is. Now they found that the difference between whether a person was deemed charismatic or not was down to whether they had more or less than 7 hours sleep. So this very same person speaking in front of a crowd, whether people believed in them, backed them, thought they were charismatic, depended purely on whether they'd had their 7 hours sleep. And if they didn't, people didn't find them as energetic and charismatic and didn't want to believe in them. So what does that tell you? That the amount of sleep you have massively affects your performance, affects your dynamism, your abilities, your mental acuity, and that is also a thing that's going to contribute massively to how you succeed on the UCAT. So try and understand just how important sleep is and really prioritize it. To make sure you maximize your sleep so that you're fully aware and as alert as possible on the day of the UCAT, here are a few things that I would recommend. Number one is to stop studying no later than 5 p.m. the night before the exam. By this stage, you have done all the work you need to do in the days, weeks, months before, and you've done all the preparation that you need. There is no point getting yourself worked up, stressed out, maybe sleeping badly and hindering your performance. So the night before, just forget about everything, take it easy, do something that you find relaxing, whether that's watching a film, having a bath, and then just make sure that you get a really good night's rest. I do recommend a really good cocktail. Although I'm a doctor, I am not your doctor, so make sure that you check with your own GP before taking any of these. But the night before bed, a chamomile tea about an hour before you want to go to sleep, maybe some omega-3, some theanine and some magnesium bisglycinate will help you on your way to sleep. And of course, if you are going to do this, don't try it for the first time the night before your UCAT exam, because just like any important event, you don't want to do anything unusual for yourself to rock the boat before such an important exam. So if you want some more tips on preparation and allocating your time like I discussed, I recommend you check out the first video of this playlist here. Otherwise, I've written a blog with further details about how to stay relaxed during exam preparation time. So if you check out the description below, you can have a link to a blog article that we've written about that. Otherwise, best of luck with your UCAT, and I know you're going to smash it.